Hey, alright, so now we're looking at a hand on Sunday 200 no limit high low on Poker Stars. We find ourselves with King 3-4, blind versus blind after everyone folds against Team Shiz, who has been playing fairly tight. So we just end up shoving into him. And he ends up stalling, and eventually he calls. Now I think the fact that he stalls kind of just heavily shows either he's a slow rolling, and he's either going to slow rolling me a heavy percent here, or he's literally tanking because he's worried I have aces. But either way, he only has 51%. If you go ahead and use Pro Poker Tools, you can see that I kind of ran a whole bunch of different scenarios here on what he's likely to have. Obviously with aces, you're going to have like, we could actually type that in. So, as we see, even in his best case scenario, he only has 64%, but in all likelihood, it's either 50-50 or we're slightly ahead. I think that, we definitely can't like raise into him here and then fold, and then if we raise into him, he's shoving an ace, so it's obviously better for 15 big blinds deep effectively to just go ahead and shove it on him and put him to a call, which he did. Alright, here we have a thing at 3-6 no limit. Played a lot with Ray and Master Hong, and I have a good feel for how they play. We have ace-4, 2-2 double suited. A min raise to 2.5x is my standard opening raise. I think anything above 2.5 is exploitable. If you're raising over 3x, it's kind of just ridiculous on a 40 big blind game where hands run so close in equity. If you fold after a 2.5 raise, then you're probably playing the wrong game, and I would certainly advise against that. I like to bet around half pot here. Certainly nothing wrong with betting like under, maybe a third, try to induce. And then I really wouldn't be a fan of like betting full pot here, just because it kind of messes up your later streets. But for someone like Master Hong who has like a really high bet versus miss C bet, if you wanted to try to check raise, I would definitely, not object. But for 40 big blinds deep, I personally didn't go for a check raise because earlier in the match, I was kind of getting check backed a lot on. Just kind of when I open under the gun. I know it's 6 max, but it's a little bit on this board. It's a really big high-low action board, so it's kind of like a giveaway that I might be trying to check raise. It's either that or I have like ace 5 or something that just like completely just gets destroyed on this flop. So here we are playing the turn with Master Hong. I check through hoping that he bets here and then going on his size. Hopefully I can check raise all in. Versus a lot of good opponents, they'd be jamming most high board or just most high hands on me here, which would definitely make me fold as fast as I can, as my value is just really diminished. He ended up checking through, so now we're faced with the river. Alright. I think check raising and I think check raising and evaluating the river both kind of run similar EV wise, but in this scenario, I mean with Master Hung, I think check raising's a better play. Definitely think that he's bet folding enough for us to get away with it. I mean, this is really specific for the player, but I've seen him make a good amount of bet folds where he probably shouldn't have. If we decided to lead the turn, I don't. I think we would have just had to jam, which has all these weird complications math-wise because we have like zero equity other than catching like a 3 or a low. You never know like how late he's gonna call, but what can you do? For the river, I mean, you definitely make an argument for betting out, but I kind of just want to see what he's gonna do because the board pairing really kind of like there isn't much he can have here. He would have bet all of his high stuff on the turn, so the board pairing really just kind of like if it was a 5, it'd be more credible for him to rep that, but a queen would have definitely been betting, if not raising the flop. If he did have 2 pair by the turn, he's definitely barreling on the turn. So when he goes ahead and bets the river, we kind of really are able to narrow his range down. He can't have a straight because he's going to bet that. He's going to be betting 7-8 on the turn to protect against the low draw, and I mean not to protect, but to charge the low draw. If not, just shoving, hoping that I make a bad call. As far as turning hands into a bluff that beat me, I don't think he would do that as a reg. I mean, for him to just check back with a pair of 5s is very like variance-free line for him to take. I've showed zero interest in the hand, so I don't really see how he would be turning something like that into a bluff. So I think we're calling here for the pair of 2s and just kind of, at this point, he's definitely narrowed his range down to, I don't know, 9s or queen 9 or complete air. So we go ahead and call, and as we see, he has complete air. And I feel like a god for hero calling with a pair of 2s on a paired board in Omaha.